Hello and good morning or afternoon, folks. FC Racer here, and I am joined with the one and only Flairbear. How's it going?
Good morning, at least for me.
Yeah,
What's
same
going
for me
on?
too. We are ready to kick off quite the spectacle, I would say so myself. If I'm not mistaken, this is number two and number three, based on Speedrun.com. And there it looks like they're not wasting any time, and they are diving right into this game.
Well, it depends. In this league, it is 2 and 3. But in terms of actual PBs, M Sushi
That's
just stole
right.
that back last night.
That's
I don't
right.
know
I
if it's
did
a.
see his tweet.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
He,
I'm behind the curve here, but that's okay.
he's moving up the
Oh
world.
wait, no, hold on. It looks like Nero actually just put a time in. I'm looking at speedrun.com right now.
Really?
Yeah, it says that he has third with a 28:21.
Okay. All right. Well, that's news to me.
Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah, that was today. So I guess he must have got that during practice. Um,
That's gotta be scary for Flad then, coming off of a race like when you're that warmed up. Usually, we'll say a thing or two about how your consistency is gonna be. Like that's one of the scariest things to be racing against is someone that's just come off of a run like that.
yeah. Now I know that Nero has been playing a little more on the safe side, at least in the couple matches that I've commentated. So I want to see if he's going to stick with that or if he's going to go for his usual aggressiveness.
We'll have to see. I think just based off of the strats that he finds and go for, he's one of the most aggressive strats players. I think like he's up there with Fled and like probably the two most difficult like movement optimizations that they do.
I definitely agree with you on that. All right, so we've got. I think Nero got out first, but it's not that far behind. Again, folks, we're going off of in-game time here, so you definitely want to keep your eyes glued on that clock as we get our way towards Summit. Yeah, and it's the first two chapters, so we're not going to see too much leeway in regards to the lead unless we see like a death, which it has been happening. Battling has been a little rambunctious during this league. Of some people have been getting caught off guard and having some mishaps here, so we'll see how this will pan out. But so far Nero is going to be meeting up a Battling first here. Fladervy not too far behind. And again, this is pretty optimized, so we're gonna see a little bit of variance. Again, they're having a more aggressive play style, a little more riskier, so they're gonna be doing a little, it's just some slight variances here and there, but for the most part it's gonna be about the same. There's not like a drastic change unless they're trying to keep something from me. So Nero in the final room of battle in here, hitting those coins, which is Flad just entering, and Nero's gonna get out and get ready for his awake section. Flad is also out now. Nero with that nice little corner boost there, clocking in just above 3 minutes as he heads into Awake. Fladervy looking to be a few seconds behind here, coming in to Awake at about 3:06. We're seeing Nero aggressive. Oh wow! Oh, was that? Hold on. Was that not one, but not two, but three corner boosts that I saw on Nero's screen? Wait a minute. You just hit all of them like that?
I don't know if it's a trend with keyboard players, but something I have heard Msushi talk about is there's this one strat where you have to do like a double or triple corner boost, and he just binded like a row of 5 keys on his keyboard all to jump, and he can just like just use all of those, and he just gets that strat for free every time. Like that's a strat I've seen people miss a ton so much that they completely stopped going for it, and like
Oh
he still
wow.
does it and hits it every time. It's really silly that works like it does.
And I mean, actually, I feel like that there's more keyboard players versus controller players, at least in the league. I could be mistaken, but I know Fladervy plays on keyboard, Sushi plays on keyboard. I think Nero does a hybrid of keyboard and controller.
I would consider him a keyboard player. He uses controller for like very situational instances, as far as I know. I mean, I can also count real quick.
Yeah, because we have Chai as well. I'm not sure about Malay or Scrub Lord or who else was there?
Evan
or
and
Sight.
me.
Sight. Evans uses a controller. I believe you use a controller too.
Yeah. Malay uses keyboard. Scrub Lord uses controller. Blackberry's controller. Chai Kitty uses keyboard. So it's mostly controller. You have Flad, Nero, Sushi, Malay, Chai Kitty. I think that's it. I think it's just 5.
Oh, still pretty close though.
Yeah, 7 to 5.
Alright, well, Nero is moving along here. He's already gotten through his crate portion of Resort.
It's still about even.
To figure out where we're at.
They're like a second and a half apart, just based off of a slight IGTV sync. Oh man, okay.
Ooh.
That's a rough strat to miss.
Did he go for the ultra in that room?
Yeah, he got the ultra, but then he missed like the wave dash off of the block in the center. Like he missed the more difficult part of it.
Oh.
Or I mean the more easy part of it. Oh my gosh, Nero barely survived that wall bounce cycle. It was very silly.
Also, I love that Vlad does that diagonal dash down in that room to just barely get by. That does funny. Alright, now Nero is in elevator shaft and getting ready to get set up for demo dash here. If you're new, demo dash is some tech that was found by Miss Demo Jameson, where it's possible to maintain Madeline's crouching hitbox while performing a dash. And it allows us to navigate through this section here, just like Nero did right on his screen. Actually, Flairbear has a fantastic tutorial on the ins and outs of that, if you want to check that out. Got Vlad going for it now. Both of them getting it on first try, nicely done.
We're getting the corner boost, but not quite enough speed for task cycle there. So I do believe this is gonna stay as a few second lead for Nero. Pretty slight, but it was just a couple minor mistakes that Vlad made. Taking a bit of a slow cycle there as well.
Nero almost out. He's got the final long room here.
Yeah, this is a good run from Nero. He's given almost no room for error so far, so any mistakes are just gonna put Vlad in the red. Yeah, we've got like a 7-second lead. Ooh, nice corner boost strat at the end there.
Okay.
That was beautiful. I haven't seen anyone else even go for that.
Yeah, that was nicely done. Able to save a little bit of time. But now we're moving into the ridge.
That's the kind of stuff that Vlad does that makes his consistency so much harder to keep up. He just goes for all the crazy stuff. It lowers his sum of best a lot, so it helps. It's just really hard to get good runs when you go for stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like all that stuff is just
Ooh, Nero.
tough.
Trying to go a little bit too early there.
Oh, Flat didn't get enough height on that. Alright, he gets it that time. So Nero heading into Shrine here. As Flat gets ready. Wow, just skating right underneath those spikes. That was a little too close to cover for me. Alright, we got Nero getting ready for his auto scroll skip. Goes for the ultra strat and nails it. Flat just a screen out before he takes a shot at that. Yeah, both runners so far so good. There's not really anything that's like glaring. You know, like no big hang-ups or anything like that. There's been like a few deaths here or there, but that's like natural with 80%. It's just bound to happen. Like I don't think we've had a quote unquote deathless run yet in any percent. And why I put quotes on that, because we do have 2 intentional deaths. That's the Bubs drop and the key skip and summit. But other than that, I think the lowest that I've seen is one unintentional death.
Yeah, and I think I've seen, 2 PBs from TGH that only had 1. That's probably the lowest I've seen. And that's just TGH is all about consistency. What is that snowball strat? Narrow. Okay. I was about to say, he was flying. It's weird that I'm always seeing new stuff whenever I watch these guys, because like I play this game too much to not know what these strats are, but like they never fail to disappoint.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm just like, oh yeah, I know these strats and everything else, and then like they just kind of come out of nowhere and with something new, and I'm just like, is that new? And then people are like, no, they've been kind of doing this, so it's just hard. There's so many people that like run this game very well, and everybody has their own like flavor to it, so it's easy to get caught up and mixed up on who's doing what. But we got Nero going into Temple, and Flat is not far behind. Again, we're gonna Bubs drop is gonna be our next big one. Yeet also, you know, I feel like that is the big one too. Oh, Nero taking a death here. Able to recuperate though, but that is gonna cost him a little bit of time. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Flad has gotten a 109 in league. If not in league, I think he did it in a run for tape grabs. So we're gonna see if we can pull that off here. He's getting ready. As Nero's getting ready for Yeet here, but again, Flat is like only about a screen and some change behind. Nero missing Yeet. There's gonna be an opportunity for Flat to just cut into that lead a little bit. Here you go, so getting set up here. Oh, this looks good. Nice.
So Flat is 6 seconds ahead right now, just FYI. As of that Yeet screen, he gained a decent bit of time, but now he has a noticeable lead.
Yeah, Nero's time is looks to be a 116. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is like significantly lower. A 110, very nice. Alright, so we are in 5B. Again, all you have to do to reach the next chapter in Celeste is to beat any of the levels within the chapter, whether it's the A side, the B side. I had to hold my breath there because I always hold my breath when they go for Bubs because I always get nervous. So let's see if Flat's gonna pull this off here. Okay, nice. Woo! Both of them are getting Bubs drop on first try. But yeah, as I was saying, because of Bubs drop and just how optimized this chapter has become, this is actually faster than going through the entirety of 5A. So every runner in the league is going for this particular route now. I know that people have brought up 6B as well being faster than 6A, but as far as I know, only one runner goes for that. So I think in due time we might see we might see that actually become part of the run too. Who knows? But you're getting into the mirror here, using that great strat to bonk that seeker and get all those coins in one swoop, not having to wait for that explosion. Vlad leaping out to tag the coin on his own. Right, so far, solid 5B from both runners right now. As Nero's the first to enter the gauntlet room, kicking down these ultra strats. Wow, that was super crispy. Oh my gosh! All right, Vlad's turn, and again, just I feel like that they're about to get on the same pace. Let's see. Nero the 222. Uh-oh. Flat with a little hang up there, but able to recuperate. Just a second loss. Yeah, I think he tried to go for a reverse hyper and he had a missed input, so was able to fix that outright. As we dive into reflection, Nero going for lake skip here. Oh, missing it on the first try. Oh, and the second. Okay.
This is really unexpected. That's like gonna throw Flat way ahead. What is happening with Nero?
Especially if Flat's getting that on first try too. Yeah, I'm not sure. Does he feel? It looks like he's not getting. There you go. I was gonna say he looks like he wasn't getting out far enough, and was just taking that dash a little too early. But that was, I think, 5. It took him 6 tries. So
he lost 22 seconds over Flad.
And like, as we're moving closer to Summit, I feel like, just like with TGH, if you don't have a lead on Flad by the time you get to Summit, it is really hard to try to take that back. I feel like Flad's Summit is really strong, especially with all like this, you know, the strats and stuff that he has. So like if he can nail all that stuff, he can easily like further the gap. So Nero's gonna have to try his best to try to get back in this race here, and getting corner bobbed right there is not helping, unfortunately.
And keep in mind, while Flad does have the best Summit, at least in my opinion, like the strats that he does that allows him to get that make death counts really inconsistent. Like there is a very good chance that he will, you know, lose a run to a good pace on Summit, or maybe even up a race by taking a bunch of deaths on hard strats there, because he always goes for the 2K blockless. The 2K blockless strat.
Yeah, and I know he's mentioned it too, how he's like on pace for, you know, whatever goals he had in set for himself at that time, and then just like Summit just wasn't in the cards for him. So that is possible, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. I think even just with the difference right now, I mean, if Vlad can finish up clean here, it's gonna be really tough. But like again, Nero has really solid movement too in Summit as well. So it's really just gonna, like you said, it's gonna come down. I think it'll come down to death count.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, Vlad has to, at this kind of pace, lose like 20 or more seconds on on his summit, assuming nothing crazy happens in the battle line fight, which that hasn't even happened yet. So yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility to lose that much time.
And also with the battle and fight too, the last two screens in particular have been, there's been a little bit of drama there from time to time in some of these races. We've seen a lot of runners just kind of either not getting out of that cycle fast enough on the last screen, or just like thinking that they're going to get the fast cycle and they actually respawn on the feather, which allows battle and just snipe them out. We've seen some mishaps like that, so we just have to hold our breath and see what comes about. Right now, so far so good on both screens here. Vlad gonna go for this ultra setup. Oh, interesting. He went actually for opting to take the feather that time.
At least what happened is that like whenever you do that strat, it's a sort of low risk strat, because if you don't get your dash back on the hyper that you try to do into an ultra, if you don't get your dash back on that, then you just go into the feather. So like if you fail it, then you just end up doing the normal strat anyway. So that's why it's like a sort of low risk thing.
Okay.
But getting your dash back on that first part is what like makes the ultra hard to get, and that's what he missed there, so he just flew into the feather. He probably had gone for the original strat but just didn't get it, and then there's a free backup right there. Narrow is definitely closing in a little bit. Still like 17-18 seconds, but it's closer than it was before, when Flad had nearly 30, because he had a lead coming out of Temple, and then Narrow lost 22 seconds on Lake Skip alone. And we are getting a bit of a resync here to help us see Flad doing well in this fast cycle so far, and he's through. Okay, so that should be good for him.
And then Nero heading into the screen as well. Getting that fast cycle on the feather. Oh, didn't? Okay, that was still pretty clean. To Flat coming in at 20:01. And you're not too far behind here. About 21 seconds. But again, we are in Summit. Summit being the longest chapter here. Anything could happen. We already saw Nero slowly chip into that lead towards the end of Reflection. So he has a lot in Nero of time. Looks to be taking a break from what it appears. Maybe trying to get his bearings together. Just trying to see where he's at. I'm not sure if he's watching the stream or not. Alright, there he goes. Now he's in. And Vlad already in 500. Or, excuse me, 1,000. I'm sorry. No, 500. Sorry, I am a little sleepy. Ooh, that strat. That strat looks so cool.
Dying in the room that Narrow's in is one of the most infuriating things, because there's like really not great ways to back it up. But
and you like lose your momentum from the previous screen.
Yeah.
And it's just like having to go through that long section. Oh, not getting his dash back there. Alright, so we are synced up now to get a better idea on where the runners are at in Summit. And yeah, it's about, I mean, basically it's a full section ahead. Anything can happen. 1500 is still there. It's still a thing. Probably not as bad as it used to be. Like, I know people, you know, like I feel at this level 1500 is just kind of an afterthought now. And I don't even know. Oh, I guess I'll ask you, Fladervy. Like, what do you feel is probably the most difficult section of Summit?
Either 500, 1000, or 3K. Like, I kind of agree with you. Once you spend more and more time on Summit, like 1500 is one of the more consistent sections for me, which is really weird to think about, but it has ended up that way. It's hard for me to get a really solid pace out of 1000 meters because the first 3 sections are difficult to not mess up on.
Yeah, and 500 has a few more trickier strats. Oh, Vlad having to improvise there.
That was a really good
was able to get away. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like 500 just because like you have those 2 zippers with the reverse hypers off of them, and then grabbing the zipper early in the battle in a room. I feel like those are a lot harder than chaining a few ultras together in 2 particular rooms. Like I feel like 1500 is just, it's really easy to just put that all together as like a you know, like almost autopilot, but not really, you know what I mean? Like I'm even just playing through it in my head and I'm like knowing exactly what I need to do. It's like I guess it is just like, it's almost automatic.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a couple other places, like, no, you still have to like still work on some timing here. All right, so Flad taking the auto scroller block this time. Oh, whew. Okay. I thought he was gonna get crunched there.
He may actually just be worried on keeping his consistency together, and that's why he didn't go for that. Because I do know that he did not get as much warm-up as he would have liked to going into this race. So that's maybe something that he's actually focusing on.
And I respect the play. I mean, like, I feel the trend with Vlad is like, even if he's warmed up, his first game is his like real warm up. You know what I mean? And then like I think he really starts to shine in his second game. Like, I wouldn't say slow starter because it sounds a little oxymoron-ish considering we're talking about speedrunning. But like, you know, he kind of revs up and then like starts hitting his pace, you know, like near the end of his first run going into his second run. That's how I feel like.
Yeah, and that's because like Vlad has said, like, he takes forever to get really warmed up. Like, he needs a lot of time to really get going like he would like to. That's why his like sessions of play are so long. I mean, it's because he has like such a low sum of best and goes for the hardest stuff. There's a very fair reason for why that is the case. But
also,
yeah.
Vlad had an outstanding backup in that dash block room early on in 2500.
Mm-hmm.
I like gasped, but I didn't have the mic button down. So I was like, oh no. But no, he was able to get away from that. Yeah, Nero's still putting on a fight though. Like he's still keeping pace. I haven't seen any deaths or anything, any mishaps or anything like that. So we have a lot of game left. I say about 3 minutes ish to go. As Vlad enters 3000. And this room in particular has been causing trouble too. I can't remember whose matches it was, but I think they just took way too many deaths here. But it's not a factor for Nero as he gets ready to enter 3000 as well.
Yeah, this lead is, I want to say, about still 25 seconds. Like, not much has changed throughout Summit at all so far. I don't think either of their summits have been outstanding so far, but, you know, just good enough to keep up. And if that happens, then nothing changes and Vlad keeps the lead. And, you know, this is all present just because of Lake Skip. Like, it must be a really confusing loss for Nero to just miss that 5 times in a row. Like, that's really not something you see here. I doubt it'll happen again. Like, I'm really not sure what caused that loss of muscle memory to appear. And Vlad is going to be, at least on this pace, almost matching Nero's PB. And when someone just kind of throws out that time at you in a race, it's like, it's really hard to keep up. Nero did just PB, obviously, like, he's not having a great run by any means, you know, losing 22 seconds to Lake Skip alone and still being on 28 pace. This could be much, much better for him, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to come close to that as well. Like, it's really hard when the standards are so high for a race that you have to match your PB, but, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was in the state to do that right now. Yeah, 28-24? Did I miss it? Yeah, from Vlad. 3 seconds behind Nero's brand new PB. Getting a 28 for himself as well. Yeah, and that's... If you remove 22 seconds from Lake Skip, that is almost... That is 1 second apart. I feel like that kind of just stole the glory there for Nero. Because everything else, they played incredibly similar. Look, with Nero getting 10 more deaths. 5 of them being on Lake Skip. So, still very short deaths. Yeah, honestly, Nero, I think, is in the zone to get a 28-1x, or maybe lower. Can definitely pull that out right now. Did I just see Narrow do the Lake Skipless strat for that screen? I'm really curious as to what's going through his head right now on this trick. If he's resorting to that already, then he must have been having problems with it before now. Because I think like being bad on it in a single session is something you can just shake off, right? But if he's already resorting to this, you know, this must not be his first time. Taking a death on the casual strat, too. This is really interesting. I wonder if he's trying to see what times he can get out of that screen with the normal strat and see how much slower it is and whether or not it's worth doing. Because in my experience of doing that, you need first try Lake Skip to be ahead of doing this strat. And if you get it second try and you set it up fast, then you're about the same time. Nero doesn't look like he has practice in doing it that way either. Lake Skip was already long discovered by the time he started running this game, so I would not be surprised if he had literally never done it. Nero got good at this game incredibly fast, so that's probably the kind of mindset of, you know, starting out, I want to be good. Let me learn the hard stuff so I can set myself up for success. This may be something he's just haven't spent time on. And it's looking like maybe off with game 2. All right, there we go. I wasn't sure. But yeah, this is maybe one of the most important games that Nero plays in this entire league. Because he's honestly capable of taking this right now, and if he could make that kind of upset, if he could catch Flat off guard and just snipe a game from him, because, you know, like I said, Flad has definitely had less warm-up than Nero going into this. Especially Nero just coming off of a PB. It's that kind of situational advantage.
I am back.
Yo.
So it looks like Flad was able to take the first race. You mind hitting me with those times? Was it pretty much the same amount of time that we saw, I guess,
Yeah.
going into some?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, everything stayed about the same. it was 28-24 from Flad versus 28-47 on Narrow, which I noted, if you remove the 22 seconds from Lake Skip from that, that is a less than a second difference between them. And something really interesting is that in between the first and the second race, Narrow went into reflection and started practicing the lake screen with the casual strat. And I noted
Really?
that is something really interesting because, like, being bad at lake skip in one session is something that can happen to anyone, and it's easy to shake off, I feel like. But, like, when you have that much trouble with it and then immediately resort to doing the normal method, that feels like something that he may have been having trouble with this in the past already. Like, this may not be his first time having this kind of problem, which is really interesting. I haven't noticed that. Yeah, it was really surprising. I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm curious about it too. It's really easy to just kind of get caught in your head with a lot of stuff. We actually Evan's fight had a very similar situation in Summit a couple weeks ago, where he basically said that he just forgot how to do the first auto scroller skip. Like, he completely forgot how to do that, and he lost a lot of time in that race. And was trying to go for ultra strat, trying to go for bunny hop, trying to go for the normal strat, and just like, he just, like, when we interviewed him, he was like, I just completely forgot. Like, I forgot how to do it. And that definitely happens. I know I'm guilty of that too. That happened to me in one of my races during speed gaming. I completely forgot how to do the screen that Nero's actually coming up to, where you have not this screen that he's on, but the one after this. I completely forgot how to handle that coin block, and I lost like 2.5 minutes just in this room because I just couldn't figure out how to do it. And like, it has a big impact. I mean, like, I refrained from going for like the semi-fast strat up until recently, actually, to be really honest with you. I just was too afraid to lose time in that room again just off of that. So I am curious to see if Nero's gonna go ahead and play it safe and go for the intended route, or if he's going to go for late skip. Personally, I would like to see him go for late skip at least once, and if he messes it up, then just boom, shift over and go ahead and take care of that. But that is a lot of game ahead here. So Nero now clocking in at 320. He's got a little bit of a lead here, but this is like the same story that we kind of had in race number 1. Also, another interesting thing to point out, and I'm not sure if you've touched on this at all, Flare Bear, but like, both of these runners are currently tied in second with 12 points, behind Teach, who has 16. Oh wait, no, you know what? I don't even know if this is updated correctly. Let me retract my statement. I'm not sure if we have updated the scorecards.
I mean, I do know, though, I noted earlier, this game 2 may be one of the most important races that they play in this whole league. And, they are, fighting for second place currently.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the way it'll pan out is if since Flad took the first game, if Flad sweeps, he'll be tied with Tej.
Oh, right, for first, yeah.
For first. So yeah, it is. If Nero is able to come up here and just grab one of these games, it's going to cause a little bit of a shakeup. Not too much, but
yeah, Nero is fighting for second here.
Really interesting to
Now, if Nero does only take 1 point, that can be a really rough situation for Flad, because he doesn't move up from that, but it makes him lose a first place tie. That would make him. That would require him to sweep TGH.
In fact, I'm curious to know when they will be playing. I don't know the ins and outs of that, but I know it's going to be a very hot one.
Flad and TGH are on they play on the final week, which I don't
Oh,
know if
really?
that's intentional, but I would not be surprised if it was.
Well, that is going to be... I might have to try to ask them pretty please to schedule that when I'm not working, so that I can either commentate and or watch, because I'm definitely gonna want to tune into that one. And I think also later this week too, don't we have is it Chai Kitty has a race coming up if I'm not mistaken? Oh, it's against TGH, that's right. So those two are gonna go at it again. And then you have a race this week too, right? Who are you going against this week?
Moose.
Nice. So I saw that Moose is streaming right now, so I don't know if he's tuned in or if he's just trying to practice.
He's practicing for Twitch Rivals.
Oh, that's right, because that is on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice little set of corner boost there from Fladervy. Gets into elevator shaft here.
Oh my gosh, failing that wall bounce 2 times and falling back onto some little dust bunnies.
Alright, Nero getting ready for demo.
This is going to put Flat ahead. I say immediately before they go into demo dash, it's likely to change, but this is a lead for him. Yeah. No task cycle. No biggie. Ooh, making the really good Oshiro cycle on the first screen that time. Surprisingly, one of the hardest screens in this entire section, maybe the whole chapter. At least to do, like, really well. There's some crazy cycles that are really hard to get. And you know, there's strats that not only make it out that fast, but also avoid the Oshiro slowdown entirely. Which, that will lose you time. The slowdown doesn't change the timer, so that's something that you have to take into account for strats. It's actually a pretty noticeable difference.
I was not aware of that. I was under the impression that because, you know, with the timer being tied to like frame rate and whatnot, the slowdown from Ishiro shouldn't have affected it, but that actually makes a lot of sense though, because I feel like that I have a few screens where like I just barely have him appear and there's a little bit of slowdown and like my times are just not that strong.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Nero getting that fast strat in that Golden Ridge room. That strat's crazy. I can't get it. I'm trying my best to incorporate that into my routing, and I just cannot get that.
This is the second time
ultra.
Nero's taken a death on this room.
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing Archie. Let's go. Didn't do that last run. Not sure what changed his mind. But it's a good strat. Oh, okay. Realizing quickly and backing up that he did not get a dash like he wanted.
Alright, Nero setting up for auto scroller. Getting that nice ultra strat down. And continuing his way through Ridge. Oh, I'm running into a little bit of a hang up there. I'm not sure what happened the first time because he had his dash. The second time he didn't get it. So I'm not sure if he didn't like the distance that he had or what.
This is surely fun to watch right now. But wow, both of them hitting that at the same time. That's cool. Fled is 13 seconds ahead though. This is definitely exciting.
The faux sync, if you will.
no, that's gonna help him a little bit. Nice backup though. That hyper bunny hop is something I've not seen before, but that's a good death cycle strat.
Both runners are in cliff face. You're making good work here, getting that ultra set up. Just a few screens before reaching the end here. And actually, wow, Flad. It looks like Flad might have, well, you know, from these screens has caught up a little bit. But you know, again, IGT shows Flad to be in the lead here.
Yeah, Nero did save a couple seconds back there in the end, so it is about 6 of a difference now. 6.5 maybe. Yeah, so he did make up a decent portion of his lead.
Now Nero did have some hangups here early on in chapter 5. Let's see if he can get his this screen in particular. Alright, he's able to get through that time. He did miss Yeet, and Flad was able to get that, so we'll see how this pans out here for Nero on his second attempt. Or second attempt in the set, I should say, not per race.
Ooh.
We're missing that wall bounce. Alright, looks like he is going to get his Yeet there. Are we going to get a double? Oh, so close, but that's alright.
Which, they're about going even from that still, because Nero spent so much time setting it up in the first place.
Flat having a little bit of hang up there on the switch, but was able to get out. Nero getting into tape grab here. It looks like he's gonna get.
Yeah, I think things are about staying the same here. Yeah, Nero saved like 1 second there.
Alright, and Nero should be the first to approach Bub's drop here. Let's see how this goes. Alright, he is going to get it and continue onwards. Now Fladervy is going to need this to maintain his lead.
Oh no, that's not one you actually see often. I mean, it's weird that I'm saying that, but it's really seemed to start clicking for so many runners in the league. I mean, you spend enough time on it, it's bound to eventually happen, but you hate to see it.
Yeah, he's going to get a second try though, but it's going to make things a lot closer as we move to the second part. But again, we still have a lot of tempo left in there too. In the mirror can... the corridor, this vertical descent is probably where things can, you know, get a little wrong, a little drama here and there. But I think after that, for the most part, every runner kind of has all of these screens like set up, particularly like, you know, the secret gauntlets and everything else. As long as they can just, you know, kind of hit their stride like they're used to, they should be fine. And as I say that, Nero fumbling a little bit and having to restart there. But now Flat in the mirror.
Dude, that was an interesting way to set that up from Nero.
The hanging on the right side and then just kind of falling down into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be scared. I would probably either hit retry or try to set it up again, because I'd be like, I feel like I'm gonna die if I do this wrong.
Okay, so entering Theo, I just took a quick glance at their paces. And Nero, mainly because of Bub's drop, is now. Don't let me curse it.
no.
All right, I'm gonna
No,
give him a minute.
he got corner bop and was able to recover from it and not take a death, but then just couldn't get it back together.
Don't let me curse things. Well, now they're probably about even as I say that. I was going to say Nero has a 4-second lead. You know, that probably does it right there. Flad barely making that strat, so yeah, it's...
Alright, we're gonna see if Nero's gonna go for leg skip this time or if he's going to go the intended route. Alright, he's going for it.
He is attempting it. Cool.
And he gets it. Okay.
Good work.
It is a huge confidence boost. You know, like especially with that first race, like just having those hangups there. He has to be feeling pretty good about that.
I feel like I'm more worried about it than I should have been.
No, I think it's rightfully so. I mean, that was a huge time loss for him. So, like I said, it's easy to let those kind of things just kind of like be on the back burner as you're continuing on a set.
Alright, well, we've really got a race now. Nero had so much speed, he almost straight up ultra'd into the bottom kill plane and died.
I like Vlad's approach in that first Kevin block room. He just kind of comes in with an ultra, slams into Kevin, and then just like stops on a dime and doesn't even try to like do. It looked like he wasn't trying to even go for an ultra off of Kevin to that first that breakable block or falling block or whatever you want to call it.
Flad is only 1 second ahead right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's really, really close so far. And both of their hollows have been going fine, so, you know, maybe the information I say can actually last for more than half a second for once, but...
I mean, we do have Ravine coming up, so... But I believe Nero has a different strat, in comparison to a lot of the other runners, where he actually grabs... He grabs that checkpoint. So I'm actually gonna pay attention to it because I also have incorporated this route in my own any percent run.
He does it so well that it barely even loses time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can execute that strat within 1 second of speed of doing the normal strat optimally, which is really crazy.
Yeah, and you know you get the checkpoint, which is probably the best part about it, because if you do mishap it, it's not starting all the way back at the top. All right, so Nero messing up.
Ooh, Flad actually taking a death because of miss angle from this bumper. That's probably the most, like, other than the checkpoint, that's probably the strongest part about the strat that Nero does, is that you get more consistent positioning, so it's like easier to angle yourself into the little tight gap, right? Because like, whenever you angle yourself into the ravine with the normal strat, you just fall down. Oh my gosh, Nero. You just fall down onto a bumper and then have to dash to the left and kind of quickly adjust. And that's much more difficult to do than what Nero does, because he stands on a specific spot, he dashes right, and then he dashes down, and he's lined up with the gap, and he can just fast fall through. And that's the best part about it. Like, there was a time where I did it myself, and it's like, it's really good.
Oh no. Yeah, looking to have a few hangups here. But I think he's still could be in the lead.
Yeah, because of the ravine death, it's still incredibly close.
Alright, Nero heading into the second round of battle in here. Flad, just a few screens away, but again, you know, IGT is king here, so...
Yeah, last I checked in another screen, and Flad is like a second and a half behind. So Nero has given him a little bit of room to bring it back after that ravine death.
And then we'll try to get, we'll get synced up once both runners are in Summit here. Alright, Nero in the final screen here. So far so good, grabbing these feathers. Getting that fast cycle. Oh. Alright, he is out.
Yeah, they are, as it is, incredibly even.
Yeah, that was, oh, yeah, he didn't get the... He got the feather.
Okay.
Yeah, that was close. I'll just put it at that.
Yeah, they are actually dead even. Nero, not getting a dash, losing maybe a second or two there. He has got to hold on to this, because now this is just an aisle race of Summit.
Oh, having again just some hangups here. These are the things that you don't want to have when going against Flad or anybody else for that matter. Oh, that as well. It's just like they can. I feel like the runners of this caliber, they can sense like if someone's like faltering or making a mistake, and they just kind of just kick it into overdrive. There might have been a delay on the skip cutscene on Nero's screen there. Got to see a little bit of text fly by. I think Flat is now in the lead by a little more. Maybe we'll see here. Flat is zooming through these dream blocks, getting those hypers out of each one too. Nero getting ready for this cycle skip here in the first long room of 1500. Able to get it. So he gets ready for triple or quadruple ultra, depending on how many you count here. Oh, he went a little too fast and didn't get the dash crystal. Flat also taking a death here in this short room. I say that chat is asking for a sync. Let's see what we can do here and get that for you guys. Nero's heading into 2000. Flat just about out of 1500 here. Oh, Nero running into some hangups here in the snowball room too. Again, just not getting enough distance on that. Alright, he gets it the third time, but that's oh, he's going for the auto scroller skip. He's gonna get nicely done. I don't believe he went for that in the first race. I can't remember. Oh no, now Flat having some hangups here. He's also going for it. Oh no, missing it again. He's going for it again. I think he... Okay. Alright, he gets it that time. It looked like he might have had a change of heart partway through and wanted to grab that block, but it worked out for him. So he was able to get away from that. And now Nero just about finished up with the battle in boot alley-oop here and heading into 2500. Clocking in at a 25:11 on touchdown. Alright, both runners in 20. Oh no, Flad taking a death there. Wow, going for those. Woo! That corner boost and that ultra. Oh my goodness, that was spicy. Alright. We got Nero coming into 3000 at a 26:23. Flad not too far behind, but man. We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, it's about a 6 seconds difference between the two. And it looks like we are about to get synced up. Oh no. Oh yeah, they are. This really put it in perspective. Alright, flagging in, Flad into flag number 13, excuse me. And Nero not too far behind. Also, can we get a shout out to D Whatever with the 7 months, dude? Thank you for the sub. Enjoy those awesome speedrun emotes. Alright. Guys, this is like too close to call. I'm like, I know what needs to be done and they know what they need to do. They just need to finish this up clean. We still, it's far from over, especially at this close. Oh my gosh. Now, I know in this situation before, Nero had a hang up here on flag number 4 with the feather. Looking to not be an issue today. Trying to catch up here. Flad coming into flag number 2 with Nero hot on his tail. Oh my god.
It's not much, but with how close they are, you never know. It's gonna literally come down to flag 1.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of hesitation there on flat screen. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at this flag 1 movement though.
That's going to barely give a win for him. Nero getting a 29.01. My gosh. Like,
wow.
That flag 1 movement, I don't know if he just didn't know how close the race was or if he just didn't care. But it's really funny to see when you're finally at the home stretch. It's like, just get me up there. Just get me up there.
Just get me up there.
You're going for the crazy flag 1 strats. But man,
whew,
that was a really eventful summit. I mean, a lot of things went wrong is what made it exciting, but...
Yeah, that was... Ooh. And we got one more, folks. That's the best part about it. We are far from over. And again, Flat is going to take this set, so he is going to get awarded a bonus point. But, Nero's going to want to try to take this one and prevent a sweep here.
Yeah, GG's to Flat. That was a really important race to take. This might be the closest set he plays, depending on how his set with TGH goes.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, that's the last one, like out of the top 4 from speedrun.com, right? He's already played against Sushi. He's playing against Nero now, so he just has Tej, and then I think Chai Kitty has a sub 30. If I'm not, well, I mean, a few runners have sub 30s, but
Nero's got to be bittersweet about that though. Getting a 29.01, that was his chance to bring it home. Really weird that both of their game 2 performances were worse, but
yeah,
I mean that's something that's happened to me before. It's weird. Yeah, he really had a chance to bring that home there, and Flat just barely held on, both having higher death counts, but...
Yeah, and Flad's deaths were, I think it's a 6 in Summit, so 5 unintentional deaths. Alright, so we are going to be taking just a short break here. So let the runners kind of rest their hands. Again, playing this game at this like caliber, it can do a number. So it's very important that if you're looking to speedrun, not just this game, any game, like if you're looking to try to do back-to-back sessions or like a marathon session or anything of the sort, to really rest your hands up in between and try to get those breaks in. It's very important, folks. Trust me. I have tried to do it. Like I remember when I went for like 114%, like my I actually had to stop playing the game for a couple of days because my hands were like in pain from just playing it for that long. That's some good advice here, but since we do have a little bit of time, Let's go ahead and talk about the big show. Let's go ahead and talk about Pace. So Pace is going to be coming up April 25th through the 28th at Xanadu Games over in Maryland. Um, we're gonna have the Super Mario Odyssey Grand Finals there. We're gonna have the Celeste 80% Grand Finals, and we're gonna have the Mario 64 70-star Division 1 Grand Finals there as well. There's also gonna be some showcase races and some showcase speedruns as well. If you're looking to submit one and plan on going to Pace, you can find all of that information on the website, as well as getting tickets. Went ahead and threw that into the chat if you want to go ahead and check that out. I still need to actually get my I still need to get my ticket. I'm gonna wait until I get back into work and all that other stuff and just get, financially set up, because I still need to get my airplane ticket and everything else. But I am definitely going to be trying my best to come out to that event. I want to see all this action in person, not behind a computer screen, and I think you guys will want to too. So again, that is April 25th through the 28th of this year, and it's going to be very exciting. Be sure to grab all those details. Again, just a few more moments here. Um, it is a bit of a slow day today here on Speedrun. We don't have a lot going on. We have one more event going on after this. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm about to go pull up the info here in just 1 second. Yes, after this race, we're going to have a 70-star League Division 1 race against Punkishan and Benji 64. And then that's actually all that's going to be happening today on Speedrun. So, but have no fear, have no fret. We'll be right back at it tomorrow with some hype Celeste, Super Mario Odyssey, and Battle for Bikini Bottom races. Actually, gonna have let's see, we're gonna kick off with Psyched versus Evans fight, and then we're gonna have just 3 in a row of Odyssey. We've got Dangers in Sweet Saga W, Equan and Necrovita, and Equan's actually, it looks like maybe pulling a doubleheader here, going against Necrovita, and then Lil Curbs. And then we got Battle for Bikini Bottom, and then finishing off the night is going to be Noble TGH going against Chai Kitty. So tomorrow's going to be full of all kinds of action. If you don't want to miss that, be sure to drop a follow on Speedrun and turn those notifications on to know when they go live. But it looks like we are about to get underway with the third race here. Again, Nero is trying to snatch one of these points away from Flad. Flad already got 3 in his pocket, looking to take a 4th one home. And they are off. All right, now Nero looking to get underway too. All right, and again we are in city. Again, you know, we're just showcasing movement here. On the first 2 races, there wasn't anything like super debilitating between the runners. I mean, there might be a few things like missing the corner boost there, but both runners get that. The final screen, not really seeing any hangups or anything like that. I mean, again, you know, the meta right now with Celeste is chapters 1 and 2. I mean, you pretty much it's not where we will see like the drama or the difference between runners of this caliber. It's once we start getting into the mid game with Resort, Golden Ridge, and Mirror Temple where we're going to start seeing the gap form, and that's kind of been the ebb and flow this entire league. Like chapters 1 and 2, you see like a very small difference, but then once you get into like halfway through Ridge, it's like, okay, we're gonna start just having the leads extend or shrink. Both runners, excuse me, are in battling. Looks like News is taking a little bit of a different strat there. I'm not sure if he wasn't lined up for what he wanted to go for originally, or is trying to play a little safer. And he is about to get into a wake. And again, we are in a little more in sync here, so this is definitely a better accurate visual representation just on how close the runners are. I know both runners are in a wake. Some very solid movement there from Nero. Flad now getting set up too. Oh, a little hang up there, but that's okay. So Nero actually has, it looks to be about a 6-second lead here as we head into a resort. Again, Nero just heading out, grabbing this first key here. Again, Flat not too far behind. And again, the resort, like, both runners have been playing this chapter exceptionally well. Demos have been very good from both runners. Oshiro has been very nice. Huge mess, not really much of an issue. So, we'll just see how this one pans out. You're getting that nice corner boost as he heads into the coin room. Flat about a screen and a half behind, at least from, you know, from a visual standpoint. Nero is going to open this door at about 4:27. So again, we're still seeing a slight lead on Nero's screen, but it's getting smaller and smaller. No, actually, it's about the same. I lied. I'm sorry, guys. But we are in huge mess, and you know, this is where things can start drifting apart. Nero's got some very nice fast strats here. Flat having a little bit of hang up here in the labyrinth portion. Not getting the optimal strat there, but able to bounce back, getting that nice reverse hyper into an ultra. Oh, taking a death here though. Oh, getting a little bit ahead of himself. He's done past all that. Having some hangups on his corner jump too, as Nero begins his book section. Nice ultra. Oh my gosh, that setup is so nice. Nero just about finished with his books as Fladervy's heading into his own. He's gonna go for this ultra too. Nice. Alright. Now Nero in towels. Looks like Nero's lead is getting extended just a little bit here. Adding a couple seconds there, but we're on this last portion here. He's gonna get that fast cycle. Now he's gonna grab his key and get ready to head into elevator shaft. Oh, Flat not getting the fast cycle there. I wonder if he knew he wasn't gonna make it, so he decided to just get into that wall instead of trying to go in for it. Nero having a little bit of hang up here in the coin room. That's all right. He's out. As both runners get prepared for their demo dashes. All right, Nero first up to bat. He is gonna get it first try. Batting 1,000, I think, in this set. Flat hot on his trail, about to get set up for his own demo as he gets ready for Oshiro on Nero's screen. Flat's gonna get that first try too. And the corner boost to Bop. Wow, that was very clean. He's able to get that corner boost and kind of get himself to save a little more time there as he heads into this Oshiro room. Just bouncing on him. Like, get off me. Nero also zooming on by. Just a few screens left to go. Oshiro has not really been a factor in this entire set, so I'm anticipating no hangups, no hurdles, no drama. Just get to the finish and skip that cutscene and be out. And that looks to be the case for Nero's screen. I'm gonna finish up with a 7:40. Very impressive time. Flad now on that home stretch too. We're seeing the difference here. It's about 12 seconds difference, folks. as we move into Golden Ridge. And this shot is nuts. It's like you get an ultra, I think into another ultra, into a corner boost. It's just so wild, y'all. Alright, we are synced back up again. And again, anyway, just that is just tuning in. It is 3 races overall. Each Celeste match will be a total of 3 races, where each race is worth 1 point, and the winner of the set will be awarded an additional bonus point. So there are a total of 4 points up for grabs. All right, Fly getting ready for his ultra setup here on this auto scroller. He's gonna get it. You know, getting that nice fast right there with the reverse hyper as he gets ready to come up to his second auto scroller. This one you don't really get to skip too much, unfortunately. Nero is about to get into cliff face. And Fly just a few screens away too. Oh, I think Nero got a little ahead of himself there. Nero just a few screens away. Flad in this quad spring room. Alright, Nero is going to finish this. It looked like it was a 238. Flad on the final screen here as well. I think it was maybe a 241. Yeah, 241. Alright, so we are back in Mirror Temple. And again, this section has been solid with both runners. Their second run through was really nice, really sharp. I think Nero got yeet. I think Nero got yeet last time, and Flad did not. And even though Nero had a mistake on that first attempt, he was able to get it on his second try. Flad now stepping up. Let's see if we can get a double yeet up in here. Can I get a double yeet, please? Hey, let's go. Let me just hit him with that yeet. Let's go. And you're already in the tape room. Clocking in at a 114. Flat not too far off. Oh, this will be close. Are we gonna see a 109? Oh, I think we might have got it. To look at that again. Alright, now both runners in 5B. Again, we're looking for that Bubs drop. Nero stepping up to the plate first. All tradition and just hold my breath as he gets it. Flad now stepping up as well. Now Flad did miss this in race number 2. But it is a non-factor for race number 3, folks. He's going to continue on. Very important. Alright, again, just a few screens off. Not too big of a deal. Nothing to be alarmed about. Neo the first to get into in the mirror. Flat not too far behind. Now again, this particular descent has caused a little bit of hang-ups before. We'll see how the runners are going to handle this. Nero out, getting that secret to do what he wants. Flad forcing himself to wait because he didn't get the proper lineup there. So Nero just going to save a little bit of time as they continue through this portion of Mirror Temple. And both runners are on the Theo section. Nero heading out of the gauntlet. Yeah, they're about a screen apart. Oh my gosh, this is getting crazy, folks. This is getting wild and crazy. Holy moly. Now both runners in reflection. Now Nero had hangups on leg skip in race number 1. It was not an issue in race number 2, and it is not an issue in race number 3, folks. He is going to continue on. See how Flad's going to do it here? It looked like it was the water strat, and he is also going to get that first try. Well, those not being a factor. So you go, both runners getting ready to head into the hollows portion here. Nero is going to get there first, followed right behind is Fladervy. Again, this is that point where, like, you know, a death is about a 1.5 second time loss. So you want to keep this run near perfect. Like, near perfect. So far, so good. And we're going to see them go for that top route as well. It's definitely faster. It's just a little difficult, you know, especially when you've gotten used to how things go. You know, like I'm totally used to taking the bottom route of hollows, and I tried to do the top route in one of my runs, and I was just like, I actually have to learn how to do this screen. So I was like, oh, this will be easy. No, it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Alright, so Nero's going to get there first. Now, I believe in the previous races, you didn't get the super optimal strat where you reset the bumper and dash into it as it's respawning. I don't think you got that there either. I couldn't check on Flad's screen because he's already out of the room that fast. And that shabam. Alright, Nero getting into Ravine first. See how he handles this. Fladervy not too far behind. Now, race 2, we saw Fladervy take a death here in this ravine portion. We'll see if that's going to be on his mind as he makes his way through. So far, so good. Not a fact. Let's go. Nero getting his battling boost primed and ready. Alright. Both of them in the battle and fight. Now this fight, I mean, you know, this whole section is pretty optimized, and especially as we move into the third race, there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, I bring this up like every time that I commentate this part, because I usually get a little quiet at this portion, because it's just like, the strats are about the same, and honestly, it's a real treat to watch. I know a lot of people love this particular portion of the game, so I'm just gonna like let it, I'm just gonna lay back in the cut and let these two play this out. So, see if anything glaring happens where I need to be like, oh my god, you know what I mean? In the meantime, let's just go ahead and watch. Oh my gosh, this is actually really, really close. Like, really close. Maybe a second, if not more, apart between the two. They are. It's so close. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're in this final long room. Nero is stepping up first. We're gonna see if he's gonna get this fast cycle. Same with Flad. Nero's gonna get it. Flad's gonna get it too. Alright, they're both hitting the summit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh, Nero having a little bit of hang up there, but now Flat having hang up too in this section. Oh my gosh. We've got. Oh, it's so close. Hold on. Hold the phone. 1953. It's like. It's less than half a second as we get into Summit. Y'all, I'm gonna need you to return your trays to an upright position and fasten your seatbelts, y'all, because we are about to have an exciting finish here. Oh my gosh. Again, we'll try to get a sync here as soon as possible, because these guys are pretty close.
I came back at what looks like a good time. I apologize for my inactivity. Some stupid mod stuff came up, but I am here for what looks like to be the best match yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say you came in at just the right time, because they left. They went into resort less than half a second apart. Like, it literally was like 0.2 on the timer. So I was getting a little exhausted, but I think I'm perked up and ready to rock right now.
What were their summit times in the first two races? I can't really remember. Because as far as I remember, in race one, their summit stayed about the same. And so that made it, that like just kept the race even as it was. But in race two, I don't remember if there's a lead change or not. There were multiple, but I don't remember what it ended up being. So I don't know who I want to be betting on here. Because I don't remember how their summit performances have been.
I want to say, overall, they've been very clean. I don't remember seeing any glaring hangups or issues. So, anyways, we've seen a little bit here early on. And that, like, for example, I believe Nero took a death in the base portion during race 2. So, it'll be...
Oh, and you said we got them out of reflection at 1953, right?
I can't remember.
I think I remember hearing you say that.
Yeah, it's either 53 or 35. I do. Those sound vaguely familiar.
It's probably not 35.
Because that'd be pretty nuts.
If it were 35, he would be on mid 27 pace.
Oh, yeah, that is true. So I'm gonna say 53.
I mean, 1953 for Flad is still technically potential 27 pace. He would need an IL summit, but I think an 805 would give him a 27, and he has gotten an 805 before. That was an insane cycle from Nero. What the heck? Yeah, if he got an 805 summit here, that would be an actual 27 for him, which he's looking good so far. As long as he comes somewhat close to it, he can still nail a PB, like a 28 OX. So that's interesting. Nero definitely can as well. We have a lot of different things to focus on at the end of this race. I think both are incredibly close, and both are also at the same time both on PB pace. Oh my goodness!
Actually,
did not get speed from that ultra.
Yeah. And Nero was running into some issues there too.
That's such a hard strat to get full speed from. Okay, Flad going for the blockless strat here. Let's really hope he gets it. Okay, he's good.
Nero also going for it.
It's a bit of a good sign. All right, nice.
Whew. Okay, wow. Yeah, just getting confirmation in chat. The difference between the two coming out of reflection was 0.119 of a second. So, like a blink of an eye. Alright, looks like we are getting our sync here now. It looks to be that Nero is slightly ahead now. It's by about half a screen.
Man, that death really sucks for Flad. Like, you need so much ultra speed from that. You have to focus so hard on optimizing your dash and jump timings to get every bit of speed you can out of it to make that. And it's a bit brutal that he barely missed it. An Owl World Record 807. I remember hearing that Flad had an 805. I think he's got another 80X, but I'm not entirely sure. I know he definitely has at least an 807.
Yeah, I want to say I've heard that he's had an 805 as well. Right. So we'll see. Alright, Nero is going to thread the needle and get in the door skip first. Flad again, just like a screen behind. Like, and that's nothing in Celeste terms. I mean, the time to respawn is what, 1.5 seconds? Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's more than enough.
What was that from Flad?
I looked away. What happened?
Did he retry? It looked like he just died out of nowhere. I actually just straight up missed what happened. Either that or he went too high up and hit the spike. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know, but literally I blinked and missed what happened there.
Yeah, same on my end too.
It legitimately looked like he just retried. I'm going to watch the restream a minute behind and see what happened, but that's detrimental.
You'll have to see if he can come back on this. I mean, like, so for example, that screen that Nero just passed by, Flad has a faster strat on that, so I believe that Flad he's gonna be able to slowly just chop into this lead bit by bit, but he's gonna need Nero to have some, oh no, as I say that, he's gonna need Nero to have some hangups here.
Okay, I saw what happened to Flad. He, like, was too low jumping up. He jumped into a spike that I've never seen someone die to before. That's gonna be really unexpected. Yeah, he got up from the block too late.
Alright, Nero getting into flag number 11 here. Flad partway through flag number 13? No, 14. Now he's on 13. And you're on 9. 9 has been a troublemaker too. We'll see how he deals with that.
Right, Nero is on 28 OX pace. Like, this has potential to get top 2. He can actually bop Flad right now with this run. It's crazy. I am going to be paying close attention to the end of this run here.
Alright,
that's gonna hurt.
A little stalling out there, but let's see, he's gonna get the flag 2 checkpoint. He does.
Every bit counts because I believe he's really, really close. Is this an OX? I'm not sure.
It's gonna be really close.
I want to say yes, it is. But he's barely missing Flad Bop.
Oh.
Freeze? Yeah,
okay.
2808. He missed second place by 1 second. That's crazy that he just pulled that out. That's an 814 summit. That might be an IL for him.
And Nero is going to take that
That's
race
a point
too.
for him.
Flad coming in at 2027, I think.
And that's going to hurt Flad because now going forward to take first, he can't tie it anymore. He has to completely sweep TGH. Wow, that was a really unexpected last game performance.
These runners keep surprising me. I keep talking about how game 3 is like where mental fatigue starts setting in and people start getting tired and everything else. And then now people are just more and more like getting PBs in these sections here. So I'm not sure if we're going to be getting any interviews in today or not. Just have to wait and see. I know it seems like Nero is gonna opt out of one, which is totally fine.
Oh wow, Nero had 1 unintentional death. I don't know how I didn't see that until now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That was an insane run.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And yeah, like, you know, he PP'd today with a 28-21. And so now, boom, it's like 13 seconds. Even more. So. And also in a race setting too, that's just like Absolutely crazy. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. It looks like that we've got the 70-star people up and running here. So again, huge thanks to Nero and Flad for the fantastic event today. A huge thank you to you, Flarebreath. Thank you so much for commentating. It's a blast as always.
Yeah, that's about it. Oh, okay, we're good.